When we go through these times and seasons where we feel like our prayers are hitting the wall, heaven is closed, God's not hearing us, the first thing I'm encouraging you to do is remember His faithfulness and His goodness. There was a man called Asaph in the Old Testament. He was a Levite by descendants, and he was a worship leader in the courts of King David. And Asaph is also a contributor into the Psalms. So one of the Psalms that Asaph sings, there's no mention of what he was facing, but from his words, you can understand that he was facing a very difficult situation in his life. Similar to some of us who may be here this morning, who feel like, I don't have an answer for my problem. I don't see a way out for what I'm facing, Pastor. I don't know how things are going to work out. He was in a place where he could not see his way through to tomorrow. So he's penning this song. And in Psalm 77, that's what I want you to turn towards with me. And I want to read a few of his lamentations, if you will. From verse 7, he says, "Will the Lord cast off forever? Will He be favorable no more?" These are questions that you and I ask, but in different lingo. God, why have you stopped showing me a favor? Why have you stopped doing good in my life? And then verse 8, he says, "Has His mercy ceased forever? Has His promise failed forevermore?" The things that God has said He would do, is God not going to do it? Verse 9, "Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has He in anger shut up His tender mercies?" These are strong words. A man filled with disappointments, discouragement, is venting out his feelings to God, saying, "Lord, what's going on?" And as he's in the midst of this rant to God, where he's expressing his frustration, halfway through this prayer song, there's a pause. And in the Tamil Bible, there's this phrase that's used. In verse 10, it says, "And I said, this is my anguish." In the Tamil, it says, "Idu ennudiya balavinam," meaning this is my weakness, he says. So after expressing to God some of the frustrations, he stops himself and he says, "This is my weakness." And then there's a pivot in his prayer, and the words begin to change halfway through. And he says, "But I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will remember the works of the Lord. Surely I will remember your wonders of old. I will also meditate on all your work and talk of your deeds." And what Asaph was saying is, Lord, it just dawned on me. Here I am lamenting, I'm telling you all the things that are not happening, and I'm saying why you're not doing this, but then I realized what I am doing is I am magnifying my problems to you. I'm magnifying my situations to you, and you already know it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop magnifying what I'm going through, and I'm going to now magnify what I've been through. I'm going to magnify what you've already done in my life. I'm going to shift my focus from what I'm not able to see to what I have seen of you, and I'm going to change the way I'm going to pray. I'm going to say, Lord, if you did it for me yesterday, you can do it for me today. If you gave me a breakthrough yesterday, you're more than able to do it for me tomorrow. If God can do those things for us and for me yesterday, He's more than able to do it for me today and tomorrow and the rest of my life. Come on, someone. This is something that all of us have to learn from this singer, Asaph, saying, when we get into this lamentation, and it's fine, there's nothing wrong with lamenting. But at some point in time, the lamenting stops and we pivot in our prayer and we say, wait a minute, I want to remember what He has done for me. I want to remember the good things that God has done for my life.